fire and emergency medical services. For more information, we would refer you to the DC Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency. And finally, turning now to our forces in Syria and Iraq. Since October 17th through today, we are tracking that there have been 55 attacks on U.S. forces. There have been 27 attacks against U.S. forces in Iraq and 28 attacks in Syria. And an update for you from last week on injuries. We are also tracking 59 U.S. personnel who have received injuries in the TBI or non-serious categories since these attacks began. Approximately 27 personnel have been evaluated for TBI and 32 for other non-serious injuries. As of today, all 59 have returned to duty. And with that, I'd be happy to take your questions. Tara, you want to start us off?
Yes, thanks. To just start with Syria, can you give us any additional information on the airstrike that happened over the weekend? What sort of battle damage assessment was there? And did that strike result in casualties on the ground?
So something that we are continuing to do is battle damage assessment, but I don't have anything to read out in terms of casualties. As we mentioned over the weekend, we are aware that there were IRGC affiliated members in the proximity of the facilities that were struck by our aircraft, but I don't have more on casualty numbers or anything else to read out.
So you don't have a sense of like how many people were in the area? Okay, and then
Not
just
at this time.
One more on the summit that's taking place. Mm-hmm. Much has been said about maybe the potential takeaways from this will really be mill-to-mill and maybe improve mill-to-mill relations.
Sorry, are you talking about the president's? Okay, yeah.
What has the secretary communicated as far as what would be basically a good deliverable to help restart this relationship?
Well, as you mentioned, the president is leading the summit, which is starting tomorrow. And so I don't want to get ahead of anything that the president might announce or any outcomes from that summit. We've stressed from the very beginning that we believe mill-to-mill cooperation, coordination, communication is important. Right now, the PRC does not have a national defense or a minister of defense. And so at the 8 a.m. plus that the secretary's at and starting tomorrow, we don't have any indication that there will be a meeting happening between the secretary and his non-designated PRC counterpart yet. So there are no plans for the secretary to sit down with anyone at this point. But again, I'd let the president's meeting that's happening tomorrow, I don't want to get ahead of that.
Just one last, can you characterize the state of the relationship right now? Are there any conversations going on, any sort of deconfliction line talks? Are they picking up at all? Are we even trying?
We continue to be both publicly and privately continue to engage with the PRC. We are certainly committed to having an open